Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick recap of everything we did to this bike to get it back up and running, because in the process of putting everything on and trying to adjust some things, a lot of stuff was going wrong, so I didn't end up filming everything that I wanted to. And then afterwards, if you guys are interested, you can go watch the behind the scenes of what we did in the garage. Okay, so I ordered a brand new head, a brand new air filter, a brand new shifter lever, and a brand new back brake. So after we got all the new parts on, we went to start it up, and immediately we started hearing knocking noise in the engine. And we're like, uh-oh, what is that? So we were looking around the bike, we were making some adjustments, and it comes to find out my exhaust valve and my intake valve, I forgot what one it was, but one of them were extremely loose, and it was like, just like moving around, so it was making like a knocking noise. So that was the first thing we came across that was the issue. So we could tighten that up, and then the bike actually started, right? So then, this is where all the problems kind of start to happen, and I kind of filmed and I didn't film. So after that, the bike still didn't run properly. It was bogging out, and we actually got the bike to start, and then the next day when we went to start it up again, it wouldn't start at all. So then we were messing around with the valves again, we were messing around with the head and the carb and all that fun stuff. So what we did is that I took my carb off completely, took the entire carb off, took the entire air filter off, and we went to the store and I bought carb cleaner. Took the entire carb apart, took all the valves out of it, and I cleaned it with carb cleaner, let it sit for like 10 or 15 minutes in the carb cleaner just to clean everything out so there's no dirt or debris in there blocking the fuel, the air, whatever, to make the bike run properly. So then we put the carburetor back on, we put the air filter back on, and I think the bike started up, and we were still having issues, okay? Issues was the carburetor was dirty, it was all gunked up with stuff, so we cleaned it with carb cleaner. And then the other issue that we had is that my spark plug wasn't working properly. So we took a couple spark plugs and we were rotating them and then have to see what one worked. So we took one off my buddy's, whatever he had in the shop, and we put it on this one, and the bike actually runs great now. It was just a mess. It was a series of events that you had to go through and make a whole bunch of adjustments to make the bike run properly. So after all the mechanical stuff was done and we got the bike to actually run perfect, we moved on to the back brake. And in the video I said I'll link all the parts that I ordered down below so you guys can check them out. But the only problem that we had with the back brake is that we needed a couple washers for the back brake to actually fit, which I'll show you guys in a second here. Alright, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but I think there's about 2 or 3 washers in there that we had to put in to actually make the back brake fit in there properly. So the top end on this bike is basically all brand new, all rebuilt, all brand new parts, and the bike actually runs perfectly right now. We got a brand new head on there, we got a brand new air filter on here, we got the brand new shifter lever on here. That's actually a really nice shifter lever. The shifter lever actually came with another one of these little things right here. I lost the first one I ever had on it, but it just came in the kit, so that's really cool. And then this back brake is actually really nice, and it's actually super easy to install. So, but yeah, everything on this bike is basically brand new, and the bike actually runs so good right now. Thing I did forget to mention is that in the last pit bike update video, I mentioned to you guys that my back wheel was really loose and I thought it was the bearings that were shot, but it turns out my spokes were really loose. So I went to Cycle Gear and I picked up a spoke wrench and I tightened up the spokes on the back wheel. It's not perfect, it still needs a little bit more of adjustment, but it wobbling back and forth like it was doing, it's not doing that anymore, so that's solid now. It doesn't really matter, but my whole kickstand, the whole kickstand unit, there's a couple bolts that are missing under there, so the whole kickstand is pretty loose, but that's not really that important, but that's just some fine tuning that I didn't want to do afterwards. Alright, pit bike update number 3, guys. So in this box right here, I have all the necessary parts to fix up this entire pit bike again for the final time, hopefully. In the last video, I explained to you guys that a 10-year-old kid ended up blowing my pit bike up because I let him run it down the street and he didn't shift out of first gear and he blew it up. So what ended up happening is that he bent the exhaust valve in the head, and me and my buddy Dimitri, we tore the whole thing apart and we put it all back together, and it still doesn't run correctly. So in this box right here, I have a new head, I have a rear back brake, I have a new shifter lever, and I have a new air filter that we are going to put on. The bike does run, you guys, it does start, but the main problem I have here, I'm going to show you in a second that it starts, but the main problem I am having is that the bike is bogging out like crazy and it just sounds terrible. It sounds like it doesn't want to run at all. It does start, but it just sounds like it's bogging out like crazy. ordered all the exact same parts I did when I ordered the first time. So when I first ordered the head, I ordered one. I ordered that exact same one. So that's in the box right here. So that's the exact same one. We did end up replacing the head. We swapped out the exhaust valve from one of the old heads I had later on from the first time we ever did it. I just want to restart the entire thing just so the bike hopefully runs the way it did before the kid blew it up. I have no idea what this is. Oh, this is the brake.
Perfect.
This brake. That's probably like the last thing. I want to work on just the top end first.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, that's
the air filter. And then oh my the shifter.
Shifter. Let's take a look at this brake quick. Perfect. Yeah. Yep. This is the exact one that I ordered that worked great.
Oh yeah.
Right now, it's got the master cylinder and everything on here.
Does it have the pads?
Yep. It's got the pads and everything. So this will be absolutely perfect. For this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll add some gold to your bike, so that's pretty cool. You got the air filter, you've got a new shifter here,
You're not gonna bump that in.
which is pretty nice. This is a nice shifter too.
Yeah, they're only like $12.
Oh, and it comes with a little gas
Is there here for this? Yeah.
tab. Yeah, that's really nice. You've also got an air filter and extra brake pads that come with that brake.
So yeah, like compared to like the KLX 300, like the first time I ever got off the KLX 300 and went back in the pit bike, and I was like, damn, this thing is so freaking light. Dimitri also has a YouTube channel, so we're both filming at the same time. I'll link his channel down there so you guys can check it out too. But this is Dimitri. I don't know if you want to say hi to the camera.
What's up, guys?
But he's the one who kind of knows more about pit bikes and stuff because he's been doing it a little bit longer. So whenever I do any work, we just he does the most part, and then I kind of just learn, and then that's how I learn, and I tell you guys about it. So I'm just learning as we go. So, but this is like my second or third time that we've done this, so I kind of know a little bit about what we're doing here. So what we're doing right now is that we are gonna take off the head. He just took out the carb. We're gonna take out the carb, and then we gotta pump off the exhaust to get the head off. So as you can see, we have disconnected the carb, and then we gotta pop off that exhaust, and then we will get to the head. Look at all that carb buildup, holy shit.
Yeah, no,
That's not terrible.
no, it's not bad at all.
What is it?
Just beware that there's oil.
Alright, I'll just show the camera real quick.
Inside of it.
So we got the old head off. This is the one that, I don't want this to leak anywhere. This is the one that the kid blew up, and then we took the exhaust valve out, and we put another valve from one of the old heads in this head. But I just wanted to start completely over and order all new parts so we can just start from scratch and get the bike running like it was before the kid blew it up. Alright guys, so as you can see, the piston is in perfect shape because that's brand new. The last time we did this, we replaced the piston and the piston rings and all that fun stuff. So that's brand new. What's it called?
The jug.
The jug. The jug is perfectly fine. We haven't even had to touch the jug, so that's in good shape. So, but what happened when we tore the head off?
The valve.
The valves were loose, he said. And
the valve was really loose, and the whole tension part, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, actually. But essentially, on like a 4-stroke engine where you would have shims to shim out your valves, this is like an adjustable version of the shim. So rather than a shim, they give you this piece of crap adjustable thing, and this entire thing fell out, which explains why the bike did not want to run very well.
All right, we're gonna start putting the new head on now. There you go. Just be careful. How would you know if everything's tight in there? Would you just double check it?
No, it comes tight.
Okay, are you sure?
But we do have to change something.
Okay, well.
That gear.
Oh yeah. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Remember, this one's too small or too big, or whatever.
Yeah.
We're both filming the our YouTube videos for both of our channels, but basically what we're doing right now, as he just explained, is that the head that I bought has a different size sprocket in it, so we gotta swap them out because one that I ordered has a bigger one, and we got to just put the smaller one in for the timing to be correct. Just some behind the scenes footage, basically, of what this video is gonna be behind the scenes. So we just put the head on and off. He's basically doing all the work. I'm just here to kind of assist. But he just put the new head on, and he just put it in the time, so he got the timing all right. Now we're gonna do the spark plug, and then we're gonna do a couple other adjustments. Brand new head is on. We had to clean the carb out because there's a whole bunch of buildup on it. Eventually, I am gonna have to take that off, and I have to go to the store eventually and get a carb cleaner because there's a little bit of buildup from having all gasoline and stuff running throughout the engine. But the new head is on. We cleaned the carb's on. Like I said, ordered a new head. We got a new air filter, which is right here. We got a new back brake, and then we got a new shift lever. So the next thing that we're gonna pop on is this new air filter.
Where did you find
on
this?
Amazon. I just ordered the exact same one that I thought looked the same. Why is there like mad smoke in the air?
Vaping.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I ordered the exact same one. It's not the exact same, but it's very, very identical. But it looks the exact same as the one I had on previously. So I went to the store, a local store. I went to Cycle Gear, and I was trying to look for one, but they had all these different sizes, so I wasn't really sure what one I needed. So I just hopped on Amazon because Amazon has literally everything you never need, and I just ordered the one I needed. So the one I needed is 38 millimeters, I believe, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
38 millimeters. Perfect.
Now we're gonna pop on that new shift lever for you.
Yes, sir. I will link every single part that we have put on this SSR in this new rebuild down in the description below. So I'll link the head, I'll link the air filter, I'll link the shifter lever, and I'll link the brake. Everything, all the parts will be listed below. And it came with, what are these called? These are just things that you put on the gas tank, so in case any of the gas dumps out.
Breathers.
Little breathers. The one I had on originally fell off, and I've just been rocking it with that one for however long, so it's just cool that these came along with it too. Everything on this bike that I just ordered was like 150 bucks or like 160 bucks. So it was a lot cheaper than I expected, but it's Chinese stuff, so it's really cheap and it's replaceable, so at a moderate cost you can rebuild the whole bike at a very, very low cost. So we're going to change the oil really quick, we're going to hook up the exhaust, and then we're going to kick it over and see if everything works. And then if it does, I might bring it outside and test it out really quick. All the mechanical stuff has been done. The head was the main part to get the bike to run again. We just put the air filter on and then the new shift lever, so it's easy, moderate stuff. And then the back brake, we'll do that after, but everything that makes the bike run is already done. We got the oil in, the exhaust is on, the spark plug is on, everything else is all set. So I'm gonna try to start this thing up and see if it works.
Oh, you're in gear.
Oh shit, I gotta be. Alright. You ready now?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put the kicks in the circle. There we go. Alright, ready? Sounds like it's sputtering. Don't want to start.
Hold on.
Go again.
Yep. Stop giving it so much gas.
Just kick it.
Yep.
Nope.
Try it again.
I'm pretty sure. Oh. That sounds nice.
Let it warm up. Let it warm up.
The idle sounds nice.
Oh, go again.
That sounded good.
Yeah,
Sounded clean.
keep going. I think we gotta adjust the carb a little bit, but keep going.
Alright, ready?
Yeah. So we're gonna make a slight adjustment on the idle screw here.
Just a little bit, not too much. I think we did a little bit too much before, and my first gear was like...
idle up.
Just a little
We're
bit.
gonna go a half turn on it. See how that is. Jake, why don't you try kicking it over now?
Ready?
Yep.
What the fuck is that noise?
It does sound like it's knocking, doesn't it?
It does. Fortunately, as you guys can see, that we got the bike started, but after it was idling for just a few minutes, we heard a knocking noise in the engine. And come to find out, Dimitri thinks that we have a bad crankshaft, correct?
That's correct.
Bad crankshaft, so that might be the next move on this bike. Because literally everything else is brand new. The head is brand new. The piston is brand new. The piston rings are brand new. What else?
The jug is brand new.
The jug is brand new.
And to kind of give a more of an explanation of what's going on here, when you hear a knocking noise, now this is an example of a crankshaft that I have off of a KTM 105 SX, or not KTM, no, a KTM 105 SX, and the piston is connected here to the crankshaft or the crank rod, and this is the whole crank assembly, and this is an example of a bad crank where we have up and down play in the crank. And as that piston is traveling forward and backwards, it's making this noise, which it might be knocking down here, or the piston's hitting the valves up top, causing a knocking noise. So considering that everything on this is pretty much brand new, I can only assume that it's probably a bad crank bearing, that the bearing in here blew up and it's just got to be replaced. You can rebuild the cranks, but I don't have the tools for that, and it's honestly easier to just buy a new crank assembly and throw it in there. And easy considering we have to rip apart the whole engine to do it. So
It's non-stop with this thing. Yeah, he didn't. No shifting at all.
yeah.
Well, obviously, when you get a new head, you have to make some adjustments to it, and I guess we didn't really realize that until we started it up and having a little bit of issues. The bottom valve, right? Is it the top?
Both valves.
Both valves, top and bottom, correct?
The intake and exhaust valves.
Where the bottom one was extremely loose. It was extremely loose, so he just did some adjustments. Now the bike runs so good. So thankfully, it's not the crankshaft. It's not the crankshaft. There's no more knocking, and the bike actually sounds like it has power.